Hi, I'm Marilyn San Clemente of Stamp with Marilyn, and welcome to my creative playground. Tonight I'm going to be making a Z-fold card with the whimsical trees from the Whimsy and Wonder set. I'm using the Whimsy and Wonder suite of products, which is the whimsical trees. And these are the different things that you can cut and make with the trees. It's got this pretty polka dot Christmas tree. It has this really pretty tree. It has a smaller tree. And there's also, oops, I didn't put one of those on. Okay. And then there's some messages that go with this set. And it's got cat fur all over it. I wonder why. Okay. And it's got these dies that go with it. And what's really cool about this is it's got this die that looks like a string of lights. And you can cut that out and then add those on. And then there's all kinds of little ornaments and things. Ornaments and stars. So if you used a lighter green for your tree and then cut the darker green, it gives you that shadow type look. And then it also, if you cut it out of white, it looks like snow. There's a couple of fun little whimsical trees. I guess I would call that a retro type design. There's some ornaments, and the ornaments you can cut out. So there's all kinds of things that you can do with this set, and I'm really liking it. I really like this set a lot. And this is the paper that goes with it. And this paper is embossed with silver. So it's got these pretty trees, and you can also use the dies to cut these trees out as well. You can cut this and this, that one. And there's just some really pretty things that you can do with that. There's this diagonal silver stripe, which is great. I love this pink snowflake. And that's got some silver and white in it also. And then these ornaments are gorgeous, and those are embossed with silver. And one of the things I really like about this paper is my favorite non-traditional color combination is green and pink. And this paper is just beautiful. It's got that retro look to it. And then there is these holly leaves as well with berries and the presents. And then when you flip it over, it continues on with that pink and green theme. So we've got Mossy Meadow and the bright pink, polished pink. We have Misty Moonlight, a stripe that brings all these colors together, another Mossy Meadow, and a mint macaron, so a lighter green. So beautiful paper. And you don't necessarily have to use it for Christmas because there's a lot of things that you can do on this other side as well. And actually, I think this paper would be great for birthday presents as well. So that's the paper and the stamp set. And I just want to remind everybody before we get started that this is still Celebration. Celebration runs until the end of September. So for each $50 that you spend, you get a free item from the Celebration catalog. And then also my reward board is going, and so if your order is more than $75, then you get a number on my reward board and a chance to win a $50 gift certificate. So, okay, let me show you the card that we're going to do tonight. This is a Z-fold card, and I know a lot of you have done those. You know, I've taught that card quite a bit. And because I love Z-fold cards. And the inspiration for this card is the fact I grew up in the sticks in upstate New York, and there was a tree farm, a Christmas tree farm next to us. And so when I was a little kid, I used to walk through the trees, and I loved all the Christmas trees and everything. And of course they weren't decorated, but anyway, so I was thinking the other day, let's make a Z-fold card and let's create a Christmas tree farm. So that's what I did. I took all the little different trees and I did all kinds of different colors. And as you can see, so it looks like this. Hopefully you can see a little bit more. There we go. That's a better view for you. And it folds up like this so that you can send it. And actually, this one I was going to send to my friend Rose because she loved this when I made it. So let's get going, and I'll make another one. So I have pre-cut a lot of things, otherwise this would take all night. Because it is, as you can tell, it's a very detailed card. And so let me put my card up here. Okay, and I have my cutter. Nope, maybe what I'll do is I'll put the card like this. There we go. Okay, so to make a Z-fold card, you want to cut a piece of regular card stock that's going to be your card base to 4 1/4 by 11, and you're going to score it at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4, which is half of 5 1/2. Okay, and then you're going to do that Z-fold. So this is the half part, and then this will come out. I thought I was using it the other night. Okay, so there is our Z-fold. And now what you're going to do is take a piece of, you can use the same color, but you don't have to. But to do this Z part, for example, this one I use the mint macaron, and I use the Blushing Bride for the Z, and but this one I'm going to use Blushing Bride for both. So same thing, you're going to score it at 5 1/2 and at 2 3/4. And you're going to also fold this into a Z. And I think that's it for the cutter. So now that I set the cutter on the chair, my cat will come along and want to join us. So, okay, so I have 2 Z's, okay? And to do Z-fold, it starts like this. So this is your main image. And the easy thing to remember with a Z-fold is you want to go opposite of the card, so that when it folds up like that. So that's the best way that I can tell you to remember directions for the Z-fold in terms of setting it up. So, okay, so let's decorate this. And I did pre-cut everything because this is a time-consuming card. So I have this panel here is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. So I cut this to 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. And then I cut a piece of the Christmas tree paper to 2 1/2 by 4 inches. So we'll put that together. Oops, and it helps if I get my tape going the right way. Okay, and that is going to go in the first section. In the second section, I'm going to use that diagonal stripe, same size as the first section. Okay, and here is that gorgeous ornament paper that I love. And so there is the base for my Z-fold card. Oops, did I put that? Uh-oh, too close to the edge there. Okay, there we go. Now, so for the Z part, we would put this piece on, but first I'm going to attach the designer paper to that stock. So this one, I need a piece that is 1 1/4 by 11 inches. I don't see anything on the ground. Okay. So I'm going to do 1 1/4 by 11 because or a little bit over just a tad over 1 1/4. There we we go. And what I have done in the past is for this piece, you can cut this into pieces. And I have done that. And I have also done this in different designs. So one design here, another design here, another design here. But this time what I did was I just went all the way down on this. And I just made sure that I folded it, scored it really well on the folds so that the whole thing folds together. Oops, and let's get that on straight. Okay. So now I have, oh, I don't have that. Okay, good. So I'm going to fold this here and fold this here. And again, use my bone folder to give that a nice crease. Like so. And again, so what you do is you do the opposite of the first part of the card. So I'm going to attach this here to the edge and then attach this edge here. The most difficult part is to get it even down here so that you don't have it crooked. But okay, so let me now you can make this part different widths. I have seen thicker ones that go across. And then I'm going to and let's see here. Let me line that up. Yep, I think that's pretty even. And then let's make sure it closes. Yes, it does. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now the fun part. We just get to decorate this. And what I did do was all these pieces together earlier today. You didn't have to see me glue on 20 stars onto the trees and all of that. So for the front of the card, oops, and I used paper clips to put each piece together. Okay, so for the front of the card, this time what I did was I stamped the tree with Versamark ink and embossed the tree with silver. On this particular card, I had cut the tree out of this tree designer paper, but for this one I thought it would be pretty to just do a stamped one. And then I have this pretty little tree, this pink, that's the polished pink. And I have a couple of other little things there. So let me grab my dimensionals. We're going to use lots of dimensionals tonight because that's going to make these guys stand out. So for this, we're going to use the regular dimensionals. Hi, Debbie. Good to see you from North Carolina. All right. Welcome. I'm actually going to be down in your part of the country coming up. So this little pink tree, I'm going to feed this back here. So I'm going to use a little bit of seal on that. Oops. There we go. And I'm just going to feed the stem down, or the trunk of the tree down. There we go. So my sister lives in Richmond, and I'm going to go back down the last week of August and spend Labor Day with my sister and her husband. My brother-in-law has been sick, and so I've been trying to go down there for about a week a month. So so a lot of times I'm working from Richmond. Okay, and then let's put this little guy right here. So we'll use some dimensionals for that. I love the combination of the polished pink, the mint, and the So Succulent, which are the 3 shades of green that are in this. Oh, and then also the dark, dark one is Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to put that there. Okay, and I want to be careful because I'm going to have my fold. Okay, so now on this piece, I'm going to use some of the smaller trees. Now, what we want to do is, as you can see here with this, I've got little pieces, crossbars that go in here that I've put in, and that's what I've put the trees on to, to make the forest part of the tree. Oops, knocking my inks over. So okay, so if that sits like that. So now what I need to do is I need to cut a couple of scraps to make those crossbars. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting a 1/2 inch piece, and this is 8.5, or no, sorry, 5.5 wide, which should be more than enough to make the crossbar for that. And again, I'm cutting it to 1/2 inch. To make the crossbar, we just need to measure across here. So I'm going to fold this part, and this is where you will need either some sticky strip or a really heavy tape that will hold, a heavy piece, because you're going to be putting pieces on this. So what I want to do is I want this to fold across, and then I probably need to cut off about this much. And let me try that. So it's kind of one of those things where it's trial and error with this. Okay, that might be a little bit too much. So let me fold it down a little bit more. And I guess what you could do is take a ruler and measure across if you wanted to be exact, but anyway, okay, so there we go. So now what we're going to do is attach that with a sticky strip, and I'm going to make another one, approximately the same size. And do the same thing. I'll fold that. And when you're folding this, you want to fold one way and the other one the other way. And the reason why is when you close this card, you want this to be able to stretch. And if you fold them all the same way, then it's not going to fold flat. And you want your card to fold flat so that you can mail it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put a little bit of tape. There we go. And put a little bit of tape on this one. So I need to write a note to myself to charge my new microphone. So we have our 2 pieces, so I'm going to peel the backing off the tape. And so I'm just going to put this towards the bottom. And we've got that going across. And then I'm going to do the same thing. And actually, I think I need to move this up a little bit. Not up in terms of, I need to move it forward a little bit. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so when I fold this, is that going to work? Okay, that's the key, is folding it. Okay. And it looks like I might need to fold this one back a little bit more. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put that here and put this piece here. Okay, and then let's make sure that it folds. You can kind of feel it when you do this. You can feel it kind of creasing itself. So now I have 2 crossbars, if you can see those. Okay, yep, you can. And so now what I'm going to do is decorate this back panel here. So what I did was I pre-decorated this tree. So this is the tall tree, and that is in the die set, and this actually does not have a coordinating stamp with it. It is a die tree out, and then to give that tree some depth, I use the embossing folder that has the evergreen trees on it, and emboss that a little bit to give that tree some depth. And I added, you know, the pink trim, and I added some ornaments that I cut out of silver and a silver star to the top. So this one I'm not going to, what do I want to say? I'm not going to use dimensionals on this one. I don't necessarily want this one to pop out too much because it is the back. So I'm going to put that there, like so. And then we've got these two little guys. We have, this one is cut out of shaded spruce, and that's basically just going to go on the back of the card as well. And you can trim the trunk if you need to, because it is long. It has a long trunk. And same thing, so this is a polished pink tree. So now let's work from this side over. So I have a little tree that I stamped, and I love that polka dot tree that's in the, I love the pink and white look with that, so I use the dark pink to do the trim, or to do the garland on it. And then this one, I thought it would be really cool to do the opposite, do white ink with the pink. So I did do that. And on this one, I actually put white ornaments on it, but I actually thought that that's a little bit overpowering, so I didn't do that on this one. Okay, I just need to remember on Mondays I'll have to write myself a note or put it in my calendar. Charge my mic. Okay, this tree I'm going to put back here, and another one here, and then I'm going to put this little guy down here. Okay, so this one I thought, I tried something really different this weekend when I was cutting these. I stamped this, and then I took the dots from this tree and I stamped over this and then embossed them with silver, and I hadn't tried that before, and I really like the way that came out. It just gives it a little bit of extra zing. So that's another thing that you can do. So what I did was I stamped this tree, and then I used these dots and with Versamark and silver embossing powder, and I just went up like that over it, and got those really cool dots on that. So an extra little bonus. And we want them to be, you know, we want some to be close in, and we want some to be more popping out so that it shows, you know, different heights and different depth. Okay, now what we haven't done is I've got these two little crossbars here, and I have this front piece. So let's decorate those. And I'm going to put this like this. Yeah, you can see. Okay. I can never tell how much you can see. So let's do this guy here. So what I'm going to do is just put some tape across here so I can attach that to the crossbar. Now, because I did all these trees ahead of time, that has cut a lot of time off of this project, because this is a good couple of hour project. But what I did Friday was I made another card using these trees. So I pre-cut a whole ton of them on Friday. And I actually like to do that. And then I put them in a little Ziploc bag and put them in the set. And the reason why is when I have a little bit of extra time, I have all these pieces ready to go, and I can just work on making cards. because sometimes you don't have a lot of time, but you have some time, but not enough time to stamp all the pieces and make the cards. But if I've got all the pieces stamped and I put them in a little Ziploc, then when I have a half an hour or so, I can just sit down and make cards, and I don't have to worry about stamping them and making them, or getting partway through and it's not finished. So that's one of my little secrets. Ziploc bags are my friend. Okay, so here is our little tree farm. Reminds me of home. Upstate New York. In the middle of nowhere, in the middle of farm country. In fact, my high school class was more farmers than any other occupation. I would say half my high school class were farmers. But okay, so there's our Z-fold tree, and actually Friday night I did a class with a pop-up twist card, this is not an easy card to do, but we had a lot of fun, and I used the same idea and I made a beautiful tree farm with it. So those are my two sets of trees, or my two sets of tree cards. And this set, the Whimsy and Wonder set with the trees, the whimsical trees, is actually going to be my September class. Don't forget that it is celebration, so for each $50 that you spend, you get to choose a celebration item from the celebration catalog. And if you don't have a demonstrator and you're in the US, I would love to help you out. If you're putting an order in and you use the host code ZC7R6U6N, I will send you a little sampler of the paper. But if your order's over $150, keep your own host benefits. I don't want to use your host benefits. I want you to use your host benefits. And what I do is I use the host code, I combine all the miscellaneous orders that I get, and then at the end of the month I'll order some papers and things, some of the jewels, whatever, and I will send those out to everybody that placed an order and used the host code. So thank you for stopping by tonight. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks, and take care. Have a great night.